Stephen Keeley is the founder of True Step Limited. He started in property with no money and built his business with creative strategies such as rent to rent and property sourcing. His main strategy now is renting a property from a landlord and then renting it out as a short-term let to contractors, corporates and families, a little bit like Airbnb. And Stephen joins us now. How are you doing today?
Hey Toby, I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm doing very well.
So what is it that makes True Step different from Airbnb? Because let's be honest, most people are probably just going to go straight to the big names like Airbnb, aren't they?
We're not competing with Airbnb. We are our own company. We are more for the landlords themselves. So, for instance, we give a lot more benefits to the landlords, and then we have a list of corporate clients on our books. Whereas Airbnb, they tend to have just holidaymakers,
Yeah.
and the landlord can never trust who is going in the property, and it's a lot of hassle.
Yeah.
So we're geared up as a company to facilitate that and make that smooth for the landlord. So, for instance, we can take a property on and guarantee the landlord a rent for, say, 5 years or up to 8 years. So there's absolutely no stress for them. They don't have to worry about these new legislations and the current climate with people losing their jobs and their tenants losing their job. They can rest assured with our company that everything's taken care of.
Does that then mean you're left with all the stress that the landlord would otherwise have?
It doesn't, because we are well versed in what we do. We have systems in place that cater for every eventuality. So it's actually, we had a case a couple of days ago where a tenant had taken some equipment from our property, and it actually benefits. We're set up so that we can actually charge them for any new equipment or damage caused, which obviously if a landlord was taking on a tenant which was troublesome in that way, they wouldn't be getting anything from there. That there'd be no repercussions.
Because if it's the thing, I think it is, because I think you did a post about this, it was an Xbox, which is a very expensive piece of equipment, and that's devastating for a landlord to lose based on, like, it's not really their fault.
Exactly, yeah. So as far as the landlord's concerned, I mean, it could be their property to be damaged. I mean, we have expensive equipment in the properties. That's how much we trust our system.
Yeah.
We put thousands of pounds into the properties to get them up to a high spec. So that's another benefit for the landlord. The properties are kept to hotel standards all the time, and that actually increases their the value of the property.
And I think usually on sites like Airbnb, there's some kind of deposit, isn't there? But in an extreme example, you could do tens of thousands of pounds worth of damage. I don't think the deposit's going to be that high, is it?
No, that's right. So, people think that might happen, but it's never. It's just something that very, very rarely happens. And again, it's criminal damage, and then we have staff to be able to chase that and rectify the problem. And I mean, that really means nothing for the landlord. Their security is that they've got a strong company like us because we are liable for that. So, they get paid, they get reimbursed, and we're doing the hard work.
Yeah. So what was it that got you started in property?
It's going back a while now, but I was in a corporate job and working 9 to 5, and I just always wanted to do something different. So I researched very hard and found this strategy, and many strategies like it within the property. I mean, we're just talking about rent to rent right now, but there are many other strategies that you can start property with no money or very little. So I studied very hard. I quit my job. I sacked my boss, and that's the path I pursued. I mean, I paid a lot of money for high-end mentors, and this is where we are today. It's a thriving business.
And these mentors, do you think you would be where you are without them?
Absolutely not. I mean, sure, you can. Everything's out there on YouTube, but when you're going out on your own, it's very daunting. So you need, it's the mindset aspect as well, where you can run things by people and ask them how, if this is correct what you're thinking, and they give you advice accordingly.
And when you're setting out to do something like your business, is it something that's been done before? Because how can they guide you about something that maybe is unique?
It's quite rare, but there are a lot of operators that are doing what I do. But the general public don't seem to know about it, and they only really know how to get tenants through estate agents. Don't get me started with them, because it's the estate agents are great. They have their role, but with increasing government legislations, it's just becoming very, very difficult for the landlord. And that's where we come in. We offer that solution for them.
Your business has all sorts of protections for the landlord. Does it have extra protections for the tenant or the person staying that they wouldn't ordinarily get as well?
They do. They get our service, and we have a lot of customers that do come back. We have them on our books and are very happy. They get a good quality service, and they know where they stand with us and with our brand.
Do you get a lot of repeat tenants? Because I mean, people that are maybe just booking a stay and not to live at the property, do people come back a lot because they enjoyed the experience?
Yeah, so I mean, we have properties nationwide and abroad. So a lot of our customers are working all over the country. So they will pop onto our website, check out if the area they're working in, and whether we have any properties, because they know what they're getting with us, and they're very happy. They're getting a good service. It's nice and easy booking process, and without all the fluff of Airbnb.
And do you have kind of repeat landlords, as in if a landlord's got more than one property, if they like how you're operating one property, they'll put some others on as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is how we acquire most of our properties, because once a landlord has seen how we operate and how it and they've been with us for some time, they realise that income has increased dramatically, because there's lots of tax savings that I haven't mentioned yet. And also they because it's a long term, they don't have to worry about voids. They don't have to worry about in between tenants. They have to fix the property up again to wait for another tenant to come in.
Yeah.
They know they're getting their money on time every month, and the property is kept to a high standard and in most cases upgraded.
Yeah. So how's becoming an entrepreneur changed your life?
It's given me purpose, in short. It really has. It's something I always wanted to do, but I just didn't know how to go about it. Anyone there that's thinking about it, I would suggest to get it. First of all, get yourself educated in whatever field you want to do, and then just go for it. Life is too short to be working for someone else. It's completely changed my life, and it's so nice to be able to provide a service for people, provide jobs for people, for my staff, and see how people progress in the business, and our landlords and guests.
And when you're running this business, do you have a lot of free time, or are you spending a lot of time on it and very much kind of involved in the day-to-day running?
My philosophy is to do everything once, and no more than that. So what that means is, when I have a task that needs to be done, if it can be automated, and I think to myself, how can this be automated, or how can someone take this task on, then that's how I'll set it up. I'll do it once. I'll do a training video, and then I'll pass it on to the staff. So they have a file. They have it's a filing system. So anything they need to know, then they can refer to that. And then obviously I'm always here on hand to help.
How have recent events affected your business, like COVID and rising prices? Is that something that you've had to worry about?
Yes. So that since COVID happened, that taught me a lot. That taught me that as soon as COVID hit, Airbnb and Booking.com decided to cancel everybody's bookings, and this put a lot of operators out of business. So since then, I've learned to not rely on any other platforms or minimize how much we rely on those platforms. Yeah. So in turn, also that this cuts out on huge commission fees that we get charged by them. So obviously that makes our business, we managed to get through COVID fine, and we diversified, and I think that's what really makes a successful business.
Airbnb cancelling all the bookings, do you think that was the right call for them to make?
I think Airbnb are they're not really there for the hosts, and I think they were panicking as well, because we have a lot of contractors on our books and key workers. So they needed work, and they needed a place to stay. Yeah. And there was no vetting process. So these key workers got cancelled for no reason. So yeah, there was a lot of panic at the time.
Are there more plans to expand the business?
Yeah, we're looking to expand more in Poland.
Ooh.
Possibly other countries. And we're pretty much at a point now where we're self-expanding. Our brand is getting out there. People realizing what we do and the benefits for it. So yeah, I mean, the world is our oyster here.
Yeah, certainly. Well, many thanks for talking to us. Where are we able to find everything that we need to know about TrueStep and keep up to date with you?
You can jump on social media, Facebook, which I'm mainly on, is Stephen Keeley, or you can go on to our website, which is TrueStep at truestep.co.uk.
Excellent. Well, many thanks for talking to us today. It's been great to have you on.
Excellent. Thank you, Toby.